Hi, welcome back to Guessagaingaming, playing Age of Wonders Planetfall. So a couple of things. Firstly, regarding the game, I know if you've been watching the last video, because I'm picking up from exactly where I left off, as usual with this video anyway, this game. I decided, based on the enemy there, which is quite strong, I decided I'll probably send both my armies to fight them at the same time, because I was going to send one there, but I can kill those I'll show you, those bug things later, because it's better to overpower one enemy quickly, not take any losses, level up the troops, than maybe risk losing a couple of units, not just because they'll lose their experience, but also because they cost resources to make more. So anyway, another thing, which is just something I thought as I was loading into this really, is because I'm very interested in video games. I mean, obviously I make a channel about it, but long before I made this channel, I played video games a lot. I guess that's the same with everybody who makes any content. So I watch, and I still watch, many videos about different games, and I was thinking as I was loading into this, I'm very lucky because anyone who's watched any of my channel at any point in the last year now has seen I play mostly turn-based games, but even when I do play games that aren't turn-based, and the examples are The Witcher 3, Cyberpunk, Watch Dogs Legion. I don't play any of them when they first come out, for various reasons. One reason is I don't want to spend whatever, £60, whatever, on a new game. That's roughly £60, £70, £50, whatever. And the second thing is because I noticed from a while back that various games come out with problems. An obvious one of those I mentioned is Cyberpunk, and when it first came out, regardless of cost, I just thought, wow, that's got a lot of problems. In fact, I know they withdrew it from PlayStation Store at one point because it was too buggy and it wouldn't play. And so I didn't buy it because I thought, I'm not going to buy a game that may not play, the resolutions might not be good, there was lots of problems with everything to do with that. If anyone's aware of the Cyberpunk story when it first launched, say, well, no, I'm not going to go into it. But anyway, and I thought, so I bought it quite a few years later when I checked online and looked at reviews, and it was back in the PlayStation Store, and it had mostly been fixed and it looks fine now. If I didn't know it had problems, I wouldn't know. Now I've played it, so I think I'm very lucky that I don't want to play brand new games as soon as they come out, because I watch videos again all the time, and some of the games that come out, the big AAA games, I don't know, Redfall, Forspoken, Starfield. I was just watching a video about a game called Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, and all these games are from big developers. They come out with AAA badges. There's lots of hype and lots of people want to play them. I get that, and then for various reasons, either because of the content or because of the way they're developed, or because of the story, or because of bugs, and sometimes it's all of those, they are not good. Sometimes they can be fixed, like Cyberpunk has been to a point, and No Man's Sky. Sometimes they can't be fixed, and they're just disappointing because of what they are. And I 100% get why people want to run out and get their new game, get a new game that's just come out, get the game they want, and if you've got the money to do that and you want to do that, I get why people do that. I'm not criticising anybody, but it must be really hard if you do that, and I'm actually sympathising with people that do that, actually. If you pre-order or you want to rush out and buy your new game, because it's not like any other form of any kind of product or media I can think of where you buy a TV, you could buy a Blu-ray DVD of a series or a movie, you could go and buy a car, anything else you could buy, a chair, anything else you could buy, any other product, a diamond ring, and you would know what you were getting. If you pre-ordered a new Ford Focus, you'd know what you were getting. If you pre-ordered a new Panasonic television, you know what you were getting, and you'd be pretty certain of what you'd get. And if there was a problem with it, you'd get redressed straight away. But it wouldn't be, because we know that Panasonic don't send out televisions where they all go wrong. Same with Ford cars, etc. If you get a Blu-ray of a series you like, CSI Miami, you know that it's going to be the Blu-ray is going to be exactly what it says on the tin. You know what you're going to get. Even if it's a new series, it doesn't matter. You're going to get what it is. If you get a Blu-ray of Halo, which I really enjoy, by the way, I've never played the game. You're going to get what it is. Whereas if you get a video game, if you pre-order it, you've got no clue what's going to come out, what state it will be in, whether it's going to be buggy or whether it's going to live up to the graphics you've seen, etc, etc. And if you, even if you buy one at the moment it releases or very soon after, you've got no way of knowing whether it's buggy, whether it's going to have crashes, whether there's going to be content, how the multiplayer will be, or the online. I don't do those things, so I don't know. But it must be very hard, because I would be very upset if I went out and spent my hard-earned money on a new product, or pre-ordered a new product that wasn't what it seems. And it's disappointing, really, isn't it, that we're in a thing where we all love video games, and yet for some reason video game manufacturers, especially the big developers, seem to feel they can throw out substandard products, even in the way they're made, as in, you know, we can all criticise story, and that might be just our personal opinion, but in the way the graphics have been represented, in the way the story's been represented before, in the fact they're buggy and unplayable. And it's just really sad that's the state of the way things are at the moment. So anyway, I was just thinking that. I'm sorry I spent quite a lot of time talking about that, I didn't mean to, while I was watching a video about Suicide Squad, and I was just having that whole massive thought. Anyway, so we go back to Age of Wonders Planetfall, again, which has been out for a while, so it's tested and it is what it is. You know, it's going to play on your system, you can get reviews, you can see if you think you're going to like it, and basically you know it's a solid product. And by solid I mean that, you know, if any of these things, XCOM 2, Watch Dogs Legion, doesn't matter, whichever one it is, you know that they're solid and they're going to play, and they're, you know, everything about them is okay. You may not enjoy the game once you get it, but you can find out that it plays okay, it's not buggy, you can see what downloadable content there is, that it's, if it's been online, you can see it's still online, blah, 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 whatever. So anyway, just a lot of little thoughts there. Yeah, back to Age of Wonders Planetfall. So yes, we are going to go, or if we finished that turn last game, so we're going to end our turn. And yeah, we're going to go around and we're going to kill these guys we need to do for our mission. Because I think if you get, early on especially, if you get missions in this, it's best to get them out of the way, because you may take quite a lot of damage. We possibly won't in this mission, because once we use both our armies, we probably won't get a lot of damage, but you might get damage, and you want to get that out of the way so you can recover and see what's happening. You don't want to be, what I mean is, if you end up with another battle, say we'd had a battle there with those bugs, or, you know, some other battle turned up, that Paragon faction's at war with us, they might come and fight us at some point. They may send another army, do some incursion into our colony, then we'd also suffer damage, and then we've still got to have an army fit to fight that. So it's always best to get it out of the way when your army is fully fit. So we have got no more movement points, which means we can't get closer. So I'll just check out what we were doing, all the different centres. We're building a building, not finished. We're building a unit, not finished. Here we are building a unit, so that means we could probably build a building, and we will build now we could build these, but we've already built those at our main colony. And as I said in the last video, if you build these things in each colony, it means you can build that unit in each colony. But at the moment, it's not desperate, because that colony is quite close, and we just get the same unit. So we'll upgrade our military infrastructure, because we're at war. And did I do that properly? I don't think I did. And we did. And we're at war, so you never know. The Paragon faction may come and attack us. I don't think they will. The AI NPC factions aren't very aggressive in this game, as far as I've found so far, but they always do something to prove me wrong, so we'll see. Okay, so we're going to send our bird scout thing off to see what's over here. see if there's any. There's another sector with some good gear. Orbital defence uplink, which is occupied, but you get something for that. Not quite sure what the bonus is for that, but there'll be something in there probably that we can use, some weapon or something. Heavy weapons factory, you get plus 20 in industry, and there's a factory complex, so there's quite a lot there. Again, it's quite a long way off, but it's always worth kind of, I would say, planning your expansion to know where things that might be useful are. So there is some good stuff there as well. And also, like I said, the further away you fly or move, you may not be flying. I'm flying. Sounds like I'm on drugs. Yeah, I'm flying, but in the context of my bird, not me as a person. Yeah, you also will at some point discover where the AI players are, and that's always useful because, as I said, you can start building up your defences accordingly, depending on where they are. So, for example, if we found one of them was over there, we might start thinking we need to reinforce maybe some forward bases this side over here, etc. Anyway, so that's that. I've also noticed that we finished our research, protective growth. That sounds nice. Grounding harness. We'll see when we use them. So we've got to do now. We can do units, rapid fog slip, blah blah. And again, it's very hard to know until you've played this. I've not played as Amazon before. It's hard to know which of these things is going to be beneficial. So this is just me, it's not what I'm saying everyone should do, but for me, if I don't know which thing I really want, I always get the new unit, because new unit always offers something different. So I'll take the new unit for the next upgrade or the next research, and we'll see. That will be our turn over. Okay, so this is going to be the attack on this. If you're going to attack anything, and remember I said if you're in the same adjacent squares, it counts both your armies, so just make sure that you move them both, because sometimes you'll forget and then one will be like there and you'll attack and the other one won't be ready. So we'll attack these. Very low risk battle, our power is 1165 and theirs is 490. As I said, it's always fine to auto combat because you can always replay if it doesn't go very well. That's gone very well. No need to re-entry. We didn't take any damage. A couple of people lost a little bit of health, but that's all good.
Objective completed.
And we get an Inferno launcher, some industry, some green circle, which is gun call that. So that's all good. We'll take the reward. And we've killed them. We could probably annex. Let's see if we can annex that. We could annex that sector. Not sure if we want to. We'll see. There's not much there. We can do it later if we really want to. I'd rather go and kill some bugs. Probably haven't got any more movement points. It's always good when you've got more than one leader to try to use them all, because obviously they upgrade. So if you upgrade there's a tab here. So if you go to the top overview tab, and it will say military overview, and one of your tabs is your armies. And one of your tabs is your heroes, and we are Rowena the Furious and Udana for Paco. Rowena the Furious is the one we received, we took on, we started as her. So if you click on this and it's to examine the hero, you can see what they have, what they might get. They've got a laser sniper rifle. You can decide what you want to give them, and it'll give you a list of the things you could give them. And it's not that much. My hunting bow, and it depends. I mean, we want them to be arranged, so we can give them a secondary weapon. There's no harm. and there's that Inferno launcher thing, so let's see what that is, and that's good. I mean, as I said, the weapons you pick up are always pretty good. It's not like some games, Disciples of Liberation comes to mind, where you pick up loads of tat, loads of basic armour and weapons, so much you could just throw it in the bin. Whereas here, you don't pick up much, but when you do pick up a weapon, it's always something good. So that's a tier 3, so that's very good. And I think we'll give her that as a secondary weapon, because it's good to have a close-up weapon as well as a very long range like a sniper. And awesome. Well, unequipped it, we didn't want to do that. And also, keep doing that, see? It's one of those games where it's very easy to, especially when you're in these menus, and you've just seen me do it about, to click into something, click out of it, because what you have to do is confirm loadout, and that's what I didn't do. So it's very easy to accidentally click into something and click out of it. You can also add mods. We've got some, not lots. She's already got one, but we can add any of these. Stagger resistance, no armour. You have to pay to add these, but you can always remove them later. So as you can see, it takes that cosmite and energy. So the cosmite is the thing to watch more than energy at the moment. So that takes 16 energy and 8 in cosmite. And we can give ourselves another mod. You can always change these mods and remove them and add new ones, but again, it always costs. Resources, phase modulator sounds good. Harder to hit in combat, walk through stuff, yeah, like that, that'll do. Again, we've doubled the cost of the upgrade, or the loadout, but yeah, we'll do that. That sounds good. Let's just look at our own character as well. We can give her that phase modulator, I like that. That will cost more, but it's worth it because it's a defensive thing and it's a sort of offensive because you can walk through things. So yeah, there's always a balance between upgrading your units and upgrading your leaders and not spending all your hard-earned energy and cosmite and things. But yeah, we will upgrade people for the moment anyway. We've got enough. So that's that. I think we'll end our turn. It's like a lot of games where there's quite a lot of management, not just in, we'll come to this, management in, not just in your troops, but in the whole of your buildings, everything like that. It takes quite a lot of concentration to remember all the things you're doing. You've got different units all over the place, you've got different things you're upgrading, you've got to watch your food, watch your resources, you've got to watch what you're upgrading your troops, you've got to watch what you're upgrading your leaders, what mods you've got, what other people are doing. So it's again, I'd say it's much more difficulty level, but it's more complicated than things like XCOM 2, which is pretty straightforward because the upgrade you get for your troops goes to all your troops. Yes, you can stick mods on them and things on your guns, but it's all pretty geared to just being able to go out and fight. The rest of the things kind of do themselves. So yes, you can build on the ship and you can clear out areas, but it's less things to think about. So okay, so we meet Chin Til Triz. I'm probably not saying that right, but then yeah, it's not an English name. Chin Til Triz. We're going to say it like that. And you can show where you met, which we'll just do that just to show you what that is. So it will show you we met there. So that will give you, if you do that, it'll give you a sort of vague idea where that AI player might be, and then you can say any of these things. I don't see any reason why you'd say stay out of the way, because that just makes them angry, and although we'll probably end up having to fight them, you may not, because they may sometimes, or often actually, the AI players kill each other. so they only end up fighting a couple, but there's no point in antagonising them, I don't think. So we could say nice to meet you, which is what I usually do, and then we can say something nice like compliment them. We'll use some of our green circle, but it'll give us some good opinion for the moment, and we don't want to negotiate for anything. So yeah, they're not that far from where our second colony is actually. That doesn't mean they're there, but it's something to consider. In fact, I consider it so much that I will start building a bird unit there, which I can then use to do a scouting mission that way. Because if they have got borders there, number one, you'll want to know, they may not start being aggressive for quite a while, but number one, you'll kind of want to know where they are. And number two, the other important thing, which I'd say is almost more important, but you'll end up finding where they are because they'll want to fight you. But what's more important about knowing where the AI players are is they'll be claiming sectors wherever they are. So, for example, if their borders are around there, just for example, they'll start claiming these sectors, and if these sectors are sectors we want, then we'll need to get on them quick sharp. So we'll need to know where they are, because once they start claiming, they'll end up moving into these sectors, or at least they'll claim them. So they haven't claimed any of them yet, but like I said, they do. So we've got a new unit we made there, and there's one I made earlier. And what we'll do with that is we'll put it into our secondary army. And now I think we want to kill those bugs. We'll also combat that because we ought to kill them easily. And we do, and we don't take much damage. One of our Amazon Huntress units lost a lot of health, but that's okay. And we gained a colonist, which is nice. I don't know. I let the AI manage the colony. I can't be working out which colonist is fixing this and fixing that. And inevitably in games like this, if I try to move colonists around, I make it worse. So I don't try. So we've done that. That's cleared them out. Probably that one can't move much, because we added, we can, okay, we'll come down here, well, we can't move much. That's the reason she can't move, is because we added that unit, so that's why. So that one's going to join there. We've got our bird over that side, our western bird, and then we've got our slightly more eastern bird. Western and eastern bird, that sounds nice. And we'll look around. And as you can see, there's lots of these Paragon stations, and they're at war with us, but as I said, they're not very, which is probably good, because as you can see, they have a lot of bases in different places. They're not very aggressive. They start a war, but they don't really do a lot with it, which is good, because I think if the NPC factions, the Paragons in this case, suddenly started attacking our colonies and our armies, and they've got quite a lot of bases and armies all over the place, it would be very difficult, because we're trying to build up our colonies. We've only got two armies, one's not completely full, and bearing in mind our goal is to fight the AI players, not these NPC factions. It would be very difficult, because it would take a lot of resources to keep fighting them, and then when we ended up fighting the AI players, we probably lose very quickly. So not we won't lose very quickly anyway, but okay, so what can we build here? We don't really want to build a colonizer, do we? No, not yet. We don't really want more well, we do. Actually, yeah, we will. We'll build one of that, because I don't know what that does, and it takes a while. So sometimes, again, while we've got like a break, we're not looking to build a colonizer, we're not looking to build anything else. We might as well build a unit. Improved military infrastructure. There's nothing we can do. We haven't annexed anything. Yeah, let's build that, because that's always good. we can annex a sector at the moment, so I'm just looking to see if we want to, can we annex that one? No, we can't annex that one because there's a space in between. I should have seen that. So that'll be this mountain sector, which is uninhabitable and mountain, so it's not very useful. I mean, it would be, again, it would be useful to join up that, and that's got forest, and we might want that sector later, but then we'd have to waste a sector on that. And you have limited, you can't just have ongoing sectors all the time. You have to have a certain amount of colonists to start new sectors. So we'll do one now, then it will say you can't have a new annex a new colony, then at some point it will say you can, but you don't want to be wasting it too much on sectors that are dead. So we'd like to annex that in between one, but we won't because it will be wasting resources. I don't know if this one can annex anything. Let's see, we haven't annexed anything yet. Can we annex? We can't annex that one, but we'd have to raid that building, as I explained before. We can annex that one. It's got some bits and pieces. What's here? Not much. That one means taking over. You can always tell when it's a base in the middle of the sector that you'd have to take over the base to annex it. That's got quite a lot of things. So again, that would be a very good sector, but it would need a little bit of fighting to do it. Okay, we'll consider, we'll think on. So we finished one of our
electronic mechanisms employed by the Empire
research
appear
things.
to have developed a passive-aggressive attitude towards abuse. If a device is mishandled, it may drain more energy than allotted in system specs. We suspect...
That's good to know. So we've got energy development. I'll show you what that might mean. I think I can show you. I think we can do it. So we've got food development, research development, steel maps. Some of these things aren't as easy or fantastic as you think. Steel map sounds good, but then you have to have certain things in place to do it, and some of the things you can get, you have to be at war with somebody to do. Tier 2 operations will do that, which gives us more chance of succeeding in operations, basically, which is a good thing. Because later on you'll find when you try and do operations are those things that you get like this, where you can do these things, you can plan before games, or equally if they're tactical you can do them during a battle, and the more high your operation level the more likely they are to succeed. So later on you may want to infiltrate something, or you may want to steal something, and the higher your operations level the more likely it is to succeed, so that would be a good thing. Operations to prime, let's see if we've got anything we didn't. Like I said, it's always good to do these things when we've got time and power, because you never know when you might want one. Review the location of the nearest unexplored hostile spawner. Yeah, maybe deploy monitor. That's useful. I've used that before, so we'll do that. It does cost, again, it costs 14 energy, but it's good to have it at the ready, especially now we know we're at war with one NPC faction, and the game's been going a little bit. It's useful to know what's going on where we can't see it. So for example, we could put that detector there and we could see into here to see if anything's coming from that way, so that's all good. Yes. We're doing that there. Okay, that's all good. But it does get I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I always like games more when they start small and they're small. I always like the beginning of games. So even way back when I used to play Age of Empires, I used to like it when you had like one small settlement and you're sending out your little guys to just chop down some berry bushes very close by, and you're just starting your first huts, because it's much easier to keep a track of what's going on. And it's easier, and this game sprawls out everywhere. You can end up with many colonies and sectors. The game I played that's the nearest to a civilization kind of building game recently is Surviving the Aftermath, and again, that game, I like that game actually. I may do that a little bit on this channel at some point, but that game starts off again small. You just got a little group of survivors and a kind of shanty, and you're building around, and then by the end of it I had like this massive city with streets everywhere, and it's hard to remember where you sent people and what's going on in that corner of the city and this corner of the city. And so that's just me. I like things that are small. Maybe it's because my brain's small, I don't know, but yeah, I like things when they're sort of manageable and you haven't got to sort of be scanning what's going on over here and what's going on over there. And yeah, anyway, so we've got our unit here, which is no point in her being there because there's nothing there. So we're going to bring them down here. We'll keep her close to there because we're making a Amazon Biomancer. It's always good to know, I would say again, when you get a new unit, not just make them because you can and you've got time, but also it's good to make them so you can kind of see what they do. Because until you actually get one in your army, you won't know. Even if you're not actually going to have a fight, you can just look at them and check their abilities, but you won't know what they can do until you have one. So, and yeah, if you can use one in a battle, all the better, because then you can get to see what they do. I mean, even the leaders are the same. You know, this one that's the sniper, and she's got that new weapon I gave her. I can't remember what it's called, shotgun kind of thing, wasn't it? I don't know how that would work out in the battle. Same with that mod I gave her. I gave her two mods, and one was walking through objects. So until you're in a battle, you won't know whether they're good or bad. They can seem great, but they may not be. And when you think about walking through things, I don't know, maybe it's too much XCOM 2 is bad for you. Because when I think about walking through things, I always think of that Wraith suit in XCOM 2, where you can walk through like anything for like 2 turns, and it's fantastic, and you get that grapple. So you can grapple up, walk through something, grapple back and use a load of distance and walk through things. And I always think of that. So when you get a walk through thing or a stealth thing and that kind of thing in other games, I'm always kind of expecting that, and it's never that. It's all disappointing. Maybe it will be that, who knows. So we see if there's anybody else we need to attack. That unit there wants to join up with, well, they might not want to, but they're going to join up with that one. I would say don't, unless you're sending out these scouts like those bird scouts I sent, don't leave single units standing about, because what will happen is at some point some random marauders will come and attack and they may not be able to retreat and they'll just get killed. So don't leave single units just standing around for no reason. What's this? I actually wouldn't mind that. Maybe we'll go there and put a forward colony there. Like I said, if you're going to make a forward colony, you need a green circle, I call it. I think it's 20, wasn't it? And also you need to have one of your army or one of your units actually on the sector square to make it. So we'll send that there. We're still making something there. We're still making things here. We're still making our bird thing there. And we can move our other bird. There's the west bird off. There's a lot of things. And now we found the sea. There you go. And the other good thing about bird units, by the way, or any flying, these mechanical flying units and ships and things, they can fly out over the sea, as I will demonstrate now. So that's very useful, especially when you're scouting, or to be honest with anything, but when you're scouting, because if we got to the sea and we'd had a land-based unit, we would have to turn back. So they're very useful. And there's our western bird. Let's call the other one eastern. I don't know, I'm getting my directions mixed up now. Anyway, and we'll send that one over there. And there's no sea there. You can see by looking at the map, there's all manner of things, sectors, marauding bugs. What's that? Something looks like a grasshopper and some ugly little spitting bug. There's all manner of things all over the place. Something there that might be of interest. But yeah, there's all manner of things to find. And as I said, it doesn't matter. I mean, again, I can't swear because maybe someone who's an expert could, but you will never get all the things you want it's like life. You'll never get all the things you want. You won't get all the things in all the sectors you want. You'll find these sectors where there's loads of exciting things and you want them all, and that sounds good. That's a derelict power plant, and there's something here, and that sounds good. That's a, I don't know what it is. That's a, see, I didn't sign out of my unit. That's bad. So then you have to find out where that unit is that I just didn't sign out of. That one, and then cancel it by going that way, because otherwise she'd end up running that way. So see, it happens all the time. You don't realise that you've not signed out of your unit, or you've accidentally clicked on your unit, and then you'll end up moving it somewhere you don't want to go. So yeah, there's always things that you'll want to get, and you'll never get them all. So you're going to have to pick which are the best in conjunction with where they are. So you may find something that's pretty good here.
Visit sites are remnants of the Star Union that give
a charge station, which is useful. You'll find things here. There may be something, for example, fantastic. Let's say there. And then you'll have to balance out, well, that's really fantastic over there, but it's over there, and this thing is kind of useful when it's near, and you'll have to balance out how much you want to get something by how much you want to travel a distance, and the more you stretch out your armies and your areas, the more you've got to cover later when you get attacked and when you get up in war with the AI players. So it's all a balance. It's all a balancing act. I mean, you can send an army. There's no reason why you can't send an army to, I don't know, here, which is useful, and you could attack it, and you could go inside and steal any weapons inside it if you can enter it, and you can enter that, I'm sure. But then you wouldn't be able to utilise the bonuses for that, because we'd need that in that sector to be ours to get the bonuses it gives you. But you can still go into a building and steal weapons or steal something and then run away. But it's all a balance. Everything's a balance in this game, and it's quite a precarious balance in this game, because it's very easy to underdevelop yourself because you're being overcautious, and you want to build up, and you don't want to rush, and then suddenly you get an enemy or one of the AI players attacks, and they've outgunned you already. Or B, you can be over ambitious and you can start expanding all directions at once, and you find that you run into enemies, or one of the NPC factions decides to declare war, or both of them. There's usually two, I think. There are different ones, but there's usually only two in each of your playthroughs, and then you can be in trouble. So it's difficult. I would say like I said, you get new leaders. I think you get a maximum of 5. You may get 6, but you won't get more than that. You do get more than 2. So it's sometimes, I would say, worth waiting to get at least 3 or 4 of them before you start thinking about sending units off to do more dangerous missions, because number one, you'll have more units you can leave home to protect your homeland and your colonies. And secondly, it'll give you more of a chance to upgrade your heroes. So, yeah. Okay, so we're moving along. I think I've done quite a bit with this video already, bearing in mind I talked about something completely different at the beginning. Sorry about that. So I'll come back to this next time. As you can see, these ongoing things that are always kind of evolving, and just doing simple things can take a while. In the next video, I'm going to try and do some annexing. I might try and colonise something else. We'll fill up that army, so we've got 2 full armies, and we'll have her maybe annex that sector probably. So things to do, things to put in the notebook, and I hope you're having a good day, and thanks for watching, and take care.